All right, rappers and music producers. What I'm assuming is gonna be primarily music producers in this room. We are live right now, and Epik is here. He is joining us, and I'm trying to get this window down so you guys can see. Let me actually test it out on YouTube myself, see what you guys are seeing.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at it now too. Boom. Let's see.
Okay, Chris the Six, how you doing? We're gonna give it a little time for some people to come back in there.
Yeah, man.
Andre, what's up? LED Colt, Levy, Lucci, D Swizz, Beast and Bangers, Centrax, sorry. Ricky the producer, Ayush, Kamikaze Beats. I'm getting better at this. Javon, 40 Acres, Van Oge. Man, you should have seen me when I first started, bro. This was it was terrible trying to pronounce names.
Oh, damn.
I could have never been a substitute teacher. They'd have ran me up out of Curtis Middle School.
And, people be putting some random names too.
True. And then they get mad that you can't get that, man. I'm like, you didn't spell it phonetically, sir.
Like you look like you just ran your hand across the keyboard. What you mean?
I'm this. Well, producers, this is definitely going to be a conversation worth your time, just like that 1 hour podcast. Just out of curiosity, for those of you that are in here, I know I asked in the last stream, but how many of you guys had an opportunity to listen to the full interview, the full discussion between Epik and I? I need to go to my own channel. This is not showing up. All right, boom, there we go.
Yeah.
Let me turn this down so we no delay. Okay, cool. Now I can see everybody what they're saying. All right, cool. So those of you that did have a chance to listen, you understand how important this conversation is today. You understand that Epik is definitely somebody that I have looked to for mentorship. Is definitely somebody that is a pioneer in this. And within the last few years, I've had the opportunity to get my feet wet within this business. And there's many of questions that between the two of us, I don't even say many of questions. I don't think there's any question that cannot be answered. It'll just be a matter of shall we answer it here or in another place. But for those of you that are in the room, how many of you are currently selling your beats online? Or you have a beat store, you have a website, and you've been trying, or at least maybe you have been selling beats online? We're just going to get a head count of those of you that are in here, just to get an idea. I think the chat is a little slow. I think because it's on top chat. Let me go to live chat.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, it's a cool little delay.
Yeah, I'm noticing. I'm noticing that on my end right now. Chris the Six. Lucci says I'm considering it. Beast and Bangers. Okay, so we got a good amount of people in here. Kamikaze said I've been trying. All right, PGF, me, Levy, just started. It's a good amount of people in here who already at least have a profile or have a website on a track train or a BeatStars or an Airbit. It's very encouraging to know that we're in here. So I guess I want to start it off with questions for you, and then we can get to questions that you have. This stream is only going to be about 30 minutes. So we'll probably end about 1 p.m. Pacific time. Towards the end of it, we'll kind of switch gears if that's okay with Epik, if we can disclose what we've been talking about doing.
Oh yeah.
I kind of let a little bit of the cat out the bag, but I didn't let the whole thing out. But for those of you that are selling beats online, what would you say is your biggest, besides selling beats? I know some smart ass is gonna say selling beats is the most difficult. What has sort of been, I guess, some of your pain points? What is the most difficult thing for you as a music producer? What would you say it is? Is it education? Is it getting your music in front of rappers? Is it dealing with rappers? Is it customer service? What would you say is the biggest issues that you're having?
Looking at the chat too.
Yeah, I'm just trying to let that delay file on in.
Making
traffic. I knew traffic was going to be one. So traffic, marketing, finding your audience, getting people to buy my beats. Of course, somebody still said it. Promoting your music, budgeting. Okay, promotions.
Promotion.
Yeah. Okay.
Getting traffic, getting in front of rappers, like personally in front of rappers, or you're getting your site in front of rappers.
Hmm. Because it shouldn't be hard to find a rapper in real life.
Yeah, you could just walk to the bus station and be like, "Hey,
Do you rap?
do you rap?"
Go to the grocery store, throw up a quarter in the air, and say the first rapper to catch this, I'm gonna give you a free beat.
Right,
I bet you the manager come from around the counter.
right.
Better education, networking, promotion, actual service. Okay, so what I want you guys to see, and the reason why I asked this question is because most of you have sort of the same issues. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in feeling like, damn, my issues are so unique, there's no solution to it. Truth of the matter is, we all kind of have some of the same pain points starting off. Now, seeing that, and you seeing that your peers have the same issue, let's start getting to some of your questions about this. Let's start getting to some of your questions that you have specifically in these areas. Now, obviously, there's going to be more detailed questions that we'll probably save that for another time. But right now, we want to get to some of those initial pain points. When you say traffic, you know, what is it that you're trying to do to get traffic? You know, what is the issues that you're having? It says no one has ever bred but expects us to have the best tools to make them a beat. Okay, so that's one issue. Somebody says no
He said what? Wait, say it again.
So Vinaj, I believe his name is. He says no one ever has bred but expects us to have the best tools to make them a beat. What's sort of your take on that?
I mean, you can't really expect somebody to. He's saying they don't have money and they expect you to have the best tools to make beats. Basically,
yeah.
So he's saying you can't make enough money to get the best tools. I mean, in the beginning, does anybody really buy? I'm just being honest, like the VSTs and everything that you need to make beats. Like, I think we've discussed. I'm not promoting this at all, but I don't think most of the entire online production world bought most of their VSTs in the beginning. In the beginning, at least, until you start to make money, you know, I doubt that most of you guys have bought every single VST that you have. But, and I'm not promoting that. I'm just saying that, you know, that's also something that you're responsible for. That's like telling Bill Gates saying like nobody wants to pay me, but to build these circuit boards that created his company. Like it's up to you to create the foundation for your own company, and using your own funding to start that. You can't make rappers responsible for that.
Right, and I guess my question is, I'm really interested in knowing what's the context of the conversations they're having with these rappers. You know, are these conversations something to where, you know, is it cut and dry? Like somebody hits you up and says, "Yo, dope beats," and you tell them immediately, "Oh, good looking out. You trying to go in for the clothes? Here's my website. They're $30 in order to get that." There is a process to closing that sale, and I think that is something that a lot of producers mess up on, is that everything is a close. I mean, everything from your tweets to, you know, your beat visualizer is like, here's the beat, pay for it, go here and do that, not understanding that in a lot of ways it is a process. And a lot of times you're not going to get that the first go around. You know, you have to invest value into them. They're still trying to figure out who the hell you are as well. They're still trying to figure out, you know, what makes you different from, I mean, you know, I remember being on SoundClick and seeing like my beat being number 20 out of 1 million, I think it was, that are out there. What separates your beat, your one singular beat in your business, from the multitude of producers that are out there? What's going to make somebody say, I got to go back to this dude? Even if his beats are not as tight as the other person that is one of the number ones, what is pretty much your unique selling point?
And sometimes they have bread, you just don't have value.
Yeah. Because you know what, when it's time to buy, and I know it's such a rapper stereotype, but when it's time to buy some Jordans, they got money. They find the money.
Mm-hmm.
When it's time to buy, anybody, when it's time to buy gaming stuff, like folks find the money for that because they know they
Yeah.
have to get the money to enjoy that experience. The thing about it is, I think a lot of rappers feel like they don't have to buy your beats to enjoy the experience of fire instrumentals or fire music production, or something that Epik has spoke on in that conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely is. I mean, and then also I see a lot of people asking how to get to artists other than YouTube. And there's a billion platforms that you can get to artists on, even aside from just social media. Um, but I would say attack every single social media, because if you look at Instagram, I haven't seen anybody attack Instagram with beats at all. Like just solely going in there to put their beats out there. And then also too, when you're putting your music out there, if you're only putting up a visualizer or just putting up beats, I mean, everybody does that. What are you offering to intrigue the artist? Because you might be getting views. If you get 50 views, potentially that's 25 people. And why aren't they responding to you? Why aren't they inquiring? Why aren't they commenting? Because there's nothing interesting. The beat could be interesting, but I said this to Curtis before. It's like your beats don't mean they don't mean shit anymore. Like there's too many of them. So you might have to take an extra step. You might want to put yourself on camera. You might want to make it a little more personal.
Yeah.
Something there to make that artist respond. Whether it be YouTube, Instagram, anywhere,
Right.
it's the same thing.
I was about to say, I think that's probably the next major shift in the culture, especially for producers, in that there's so many of us that have been so used to being behind a keyboard and never stepping from behind that keyboard and having to be a human being. And in a lot of ways that there's a disconnect between us and just people, not just rappers, people in general, people that you went to high school with. You trying to figure out why they don't support you, because they're like, I know you as a different person than what your Instagram is presenting me. What your Instagram is presenting me is that, you are just someone who is just promotion. And you know what's crazy? The person that broke that down for me, it wasn't another marketer, it wasn't another rapper. It was Becky Buck Wild from that show Flavor Flav. Remember that show Flavor Flav, Flavor of Love?
Yeah,
I remember the girl Becky Buck Wild.
I don't remember Becky
Okay,
Buckwild. No,
if you
that's a
ever,
random name.
and she was just as ratchet as her name, but on YouTube, you search it up, you'll like recognize her from her voice. But
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to like that became one of my friends a few years ago, because she lived out here, and she was like, Curtis, don't nobody always want to hear about your beats. Sometimes people just want to know what you ate for breakfast. I just want to know what you have for breakfast. She's like, I look at your timeline, I get bored. And I was like, okay. Now, although you're not a rapper or a producer and you don't understand the business I'm in, we're still in the people business. So what she gave to me was a gem, even if she didn't know it was a gem. It basically took down that wall that we have as producers. That's like, I'm too shy to be in front of the camera, but I'm not too shy to bombard your timeline with a bunch of visualizers. I'm not afraid to bombard it with a bunch of pictures of other rappers. So she taught me a lesson for that balance. I'm sorry.
That's another thing too, is that something that it has to change. It's going to change. If you notice, the type beat thing is starting to decline. Like before, it was like hip hop instrumentals and all that, and that's still a huge search point, and so is type beat. But I think that if you guys look at my YouTube, I kind of stopped putting artists on there, like the face of artists on there, because a lot of the time, other than people psychologically, other than people searching for it, sometimes when you relate it to another artist visually, it takes away all of that, what they feel personally about the beat. And that can also make them bounce. I noticed that I convert. I don't get as many views as a lot of people, but I convert really, really high, because I take away as soon as the beat comes up and it's just a random picture with a white background. It takes away that J. Cole type beat. It takes away that Future type beat, and they're now they're just listening to the beat. That's also something that I've noticed that a lot of
Yeah.
people do.
What's interesting about that is that that's exactly what I've been doing for the last beats that I've been posting. Like I would much rather, and you know, it's funny because I kind of got this indirectly from Tone Jones. Tone Jones never uses artists, and I asked him that when I had an interview with him. I said, "Why don't you ever use artists? Like, you know, I know your brand is huge and you don't need it." I assumed it was a marketing decision. He said most of the time I don't even know what artist to put on there. I just be making my music. And so I was like, what would happen if the beat title, because all these different things that you're making, your beat title is not just a beat title. That's part of your branding. That's part of somebody's experience before they listen to the beat. What's going to make them listen to a beat that says this other than this? And so the last few beats that I've been putting up, I don't know, for some reason this window came up. Is that your window? I think it might be your window. It says the switch or something. Is that you?
Nah, that ain't me.
That's what's
That look
weird.
like somebody. That's somebody jumped in the call.
Oh my god. Okay, fam. No. This is why sometimes I gotta like hide stuff. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. What in the hell? I'm gonna jump in
That's
here real quick and
hilarious.
just change this whole. No, come on. So what I was gonna ready to say is that the last few beats that you guys have been seeing, the first one was Lemonhead. The next one was Funny Money. The next one was Jello. All these things are so strongly branded when it comes to what you remember from a Curtis King. So when you see my name, you associate a certain emotion with that. When you see these other items that are really like summary type of terms, automatically the branding is that much stronger. So that being said, you know, since we over here getting video call bombed, let's go ahead and close this very soon. Because I appreciate the conversation, but come on, y'all. Somebody sat there and typed letter by letter to get into the stream. I guess we can feel what is that called? Flattered by it. But since you gave us permission to go ahead and do this, I had mentioned in the last video that there is going to be an opportunity for a select number of producers to join a mentorship program that is going to include mentorship from not only Epik, who's already been doing this, but from myself as well. We're coming into tandem. We're coming into collaboration. We've had many of conversations over the last few weeks, and like, even though it may seem like both of our approaches are complete opposites sometimes, he's a lot more blunt than I am, and Curtis is all super nice guy. You will be surprised how many things that we have in common in the way we see things, especially in this business. So that being said, since this was your program, I mean, it still is. You're the pioneer of this. Do you want to kind of give them like a brief overview, and then we can kind of, I guess, get some questions about what it is?
Yeah, definitely. I kind of wanted to answer a couple more questions. I feel like we only answered like two questions
Okay, well, if you
from people.
if you down for that, I'm good. As long as nobody want to
Yeah.
play it, just don't be the switch. How about that? Anybody in here, don't be the switch and try to type these things in. Come on,
Yeah.
man. Don't video call bomb. People is here to listen. But go ahead, Marcel. You have some questions in there?
Let me see. Yeah, look, if you guys have any particular questions, I saw something about promotion. We didn't really touch on, like, I know people, we can't tell people how to promote, and that'll be a part of the program.
Yeah.
Step by step how to promote. But I wanna know what you guys have done or where you guys have tried to promote. Is it like Google Ads or Facebook or SoundClick, or where is it that you guys have promoted?
It's a good question. Because I think a lot of folks will open up a beat store and say the sales are supposed to just come in because you open up a beat store. And it's like,
Yeah.
fam.
And do you have your own real estate on the internet? Like, not BeatStars,
Yeah.
not Airbit. Do you have your own personal real estate on the internet? And people don't think about that. Like, they don't think about this as real estate. They don't think about having your own website as actual real estate.
That's so important. It's funny because I've made that connection to beats being your real estate. You know, once you push export on that, there's so many opportunities just to help people understand. Stacked Up Michael said SoundClick is dead. Or is SoundClick?
You
He's
said
asking
it's
a question.
SoundClick.
Is
Yeah.
SoundClick dead?
AdWords, SoundClick, Facebook,
Facebook,
YouTube,
Instagram. So you already so Cash said
Spotify.
he took advantage. Did you hear about Spotify ads?
No, no, I kind of heard about it, but not
Well,
really. Did they go full fledged with like indie artists being able to promote?
well, you still gotta. It's still a process for you to basically get in, but basically when you get accepted, I'm still waiting for my confirmation. I saw a tutorial on it, and they said that the lowest you can pay is 250 for it. So they're making the lowest price point for you to get in pretty high. Which to me, I look at that and I say, well, they're probably going to put you in some very prime locations. Out the gate, or they're expecting because the thing is they have it Epik where it's you have to identify if you're an artist or a corporate company. So if you're Coca-Cola, it's the same system for everyone.
Oh, okay. That sounds interesting. Kind of like that's how Snapchat was at first, but now they opened up the floodgates. So that means that the floodgates are going to open soon. And if you guys, that means that they're going to be you're going to be able to do it just like you do on YouTube or Facebook. And when that happens, we want to be some of the first people to do that and put money into that because it's going to be cheap at first.
Also, too, something else, a little tidbit. I just did it the other day. One of my supporters told me about it. But Apple Music for artists, they've launched sort of their answer to Spotify for artists. So you can basically sign up to that right now for free. Just go Google it and submit it. So it says, what is Epik's channel? Epik the Don.
Yeah, Epik the Don. So I saw a lot of people saying pretty much every ad platform. I saw some people say they promoted on BeatStars and Airbit, which I think is, I mean, no disrespect. It's kind of idiotic to promote beats to producers.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second because I want you to approach this one. This is where the yin and the yang works the best. Because if Curtis approached this, I would say, I would ask you a question. Do you think it's wise to promote? You need to get an Epik answer on this one.
Yeah, I think promoting on Airbit and BeatStars is the dumbest thing that you can do because one, they're not promoting to artists to bring traffic from artists. If you go and look at their timeline, you're gonna look at they got memes about producers. They're attracting producers to open up accounts on Airbit. I mean, Airbit doesn't even promote like that. I see BeatStars promote like crazy on my timeline at least, and they're promoting to producers to create accounts. So that means that if you buy ads from them, 99%, I would say at least 80% of the traffic that goes there is producers. So that means that you're going to have to serve 80 out of 100 ads. You're going to have to serve 80 ads before you even hit an artist. And so, you don't really want to do that. And I think I feel like BeatStars is the more predominant store right now, and maybe a place that artists go to more. But still, you're going to be promoting mainly to producers, and you don't want that unless you're promoting. Now if you're selling drum kits and or any type of services for producers, maybe that's a good idea.
Yeah, and let me go ahead and clear something up since I feel like I created this confusion in some people. For some reason, some of you thought that you can sell beats directly on what's going on, Decap. Some of you guys thought that you were able to sell your beats directly through DistroKid. That is not the purpose of DistroKid. The purpose of DistroKid is to distribute your instrumentals or your beats or even your songs, as if you're a rapper in here, is to distribute them to the main music streaming websites from Spotify to Tidal to Apple Music. It's strictly streaming, not for selling. Nobody can go to Spotify and then all of a sudden go to your beat website. That's not how they have it set up for you. So this is literally to tap into other demographics. I'll give you an example of how to kind of use the promo game on that. I'm on a few different Pandora stations. There was somebody that came to me and said they heard my beat on a J Dilla Pandora station. And I listen to it all the time, but they said they heard my instrumental on there. And that opens me up to a whole other demographic who would have never looked for me, but they're looking for J Dilla and the aesthetics that are very similar to J Dilla. So that's a play for you to be on streaming. Also, too, if your music is of more access and you get a rapper that says, yo, where can I hear your music? And you don't have a website, I think this is great as a buffer until you get your website together. If they're kind of confused, because some rappers still get confused when they go to your Airbit, when they go to your BeatStars, just because that's just they're not computer savvy. So when you tell them go to Apple Music, that's a lot easier for them to digest the first go around. But yeah, that's the way you want to play it. You're not selling your beats on DistroKid. That's not what you're doing that for. Let me send us a big shout out to iStandard. What's going on with you? How you
What
doing?
up, iStandard? What up, DCap? Love your music, man, and your drum kits.
Man, yeah, bro. I'm bringing him over to the dark side, to the YouTube, man. He's getting ready to murder it. I'm excited to see him on there, presenting all the valid and golden information in sound design.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, did you want to get into talking about this producer mentor program?
Let's do it.
I want to call it the producer union or something like that. I feel like that's something that has been uttered, for the past 10 years, I want to say, when it comes to the online world. But I started something called the producer mentor program 2 years ago, where I would let a limited amount of producers in and allow them to learn everything that I've learned in the past 11, 12 years about selling beats online and marketing and all of that stuff. And I would work with them one-on-one to allow them to really learn everything that they need to know. And what I learned from doing the one-on-one is that it's better within a group setting. So I would do group settings and I would do like one-on-one. I learned that it's a lot better and people listen. And I think a lot of producers think that those clashing personalities would clash. But I learned that a lot of producers have the same issues, like we've seen in here, the promotion, with talking shit about artists, with a lot of different things. And we were able to really bring everything together and learn a lot faster that way.
I was going to say one tidbit, because I know you're right in the middle of explaining the mentorship program. I got to give a perspective from the outside, because I wasn't involved within the first one. Like, we had conversations about some ways that I could contribute, but the timing was just kind of crazy. But I can tell you, I saw an immediate impact with the producers that were involved. You could just tell, and producers, you tell me if I'm wrong. Can you just tell when a producer is maneuvering differently? And you can almost tell that they're making money. I could tell that people that at least I knew were associated with it, because they were kind of sharing that, yo, shout out to Epik for, allowing me to be a part of this program. They move differently. And that only comes from mentorship. The reason why the conversations you're seeing right now between Epik and I, it's a different frequency. Because once you've been under certain circumstances, you're just not going to react the same way. And that's just my perspective from the outside. Now, being on the inside of this program, man, I'm very thankful to be a part of this.
Yeah, thanks for the love on the hat. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's definitely important. I feel like in other businesses, mentorship is normal. I feel like in other businesses, that's something that is like a no-brainer. Everybody has a mentor. Everybody's looking to get a mentor, and people want to have mentees. And I feel like in the production world, in the hip hop world, that I feel like everybody wants to keep a secret, because there's a limited amount of money. I did a post not too long ago talking about the difference between the fashion world and the music world. In the music world, they make about 14 billion per year, but there's 1 million people trying to get into it. In the fashion world, they make 40 billion, and there's not that many people trying to force their way into that compared to the music industry.
It's crazy.
So if you divided all the money between everybody that was trying to get into the music industry, we would all be only making $20,000 a year about. So that being said, there needs to be a lot more mentorship and information passing and innovation so that there can bring more money into the market. And I feel like the online world, while it's being shit on by the industry, because I feel like the online world has been anti-industry the whole time, all the way from like the Napster days. And what we need to do is people like me, people like Curtis, and anybody else take producers under our wing and give them information that can help them move forward
Right.
and create new ways to make money and bring more money into this market, because it has to be new money. We have to create new money, and I feel like this is the way to do it.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more, because I know that I wouldn't be here today if not for the mentorship of who introduced me to this hands-on. Because like I said, years ago, my experience with Epik was that he was speaking on a panel that I just happened to go to, because shout out to the homie Roosevelt, and I believe C Nice was behind that too. Yeah, C Nice was behind it too. I just happened to go on a whim on my last gas money, and then I'm hearing this dude up on the panel talk about how he was on a bus stop, and he decided he was going to put his last $50 towards this business, and then it skyrocketed for him. And even then, it wasn't enough information. I almost compare it to how when you guys are watching these YouTube videos, all you get is what I can give you in that 3 minutes, right? And I'm pretty sure there's times you want to stop me and be like, okay, hold on, Curtis, I need you to elaborate a little bit more on that, but I can't do that because it's pre-recorded. And even in live streams, I'm getting to so many people, I can't focus in on one person. Even in my one-on-one consultations, like that's probably the closest that a lot of producers have come to getting all the information I really want to be able to give them. But the next tier, this is absolutely the next tier, because it's not just we send you on a wild goose chase. It's not, we're going to give you this information, go make it work. You are going to see a lot of things hands-on and be able to ask a lot that you would not be able to get in any other service that we have provided. This is the first time that you've seen me in collaboration with somebody other than like my buddy Game from BusyWorks. This is the first time that you're seeing it because of how important it is. This discussion about the future releasing, we've been talking about this for the last month or so. And I could tell you the person that first planted the seed in my mind was the gentleman that's on here now. And so it is time, like, I'm not gonna hold Epik against this one, because I speak for myself when I say this, but I felt embarrassed to see Ninth Wonder putting up a meme that was basically, it's funny to producers, but it's Cardi B, the little girl Cardi B version, the meme going around, and it says, my mama said the reason why that tag keep repeating is because you haven't paid for the beat. And I'm like, that's funny. It's funny to us, but then I gotta think, like, what about the rapper demographic that are going to be buying? Not only is it a leader that does that, but now we're reblogging it from his Instagram, and we're sharing this all across, when really our biggest consumer are these very same people. But the thing is, I know that just saying that is not going to shift the culture, but taking a few producers under our wings to say, look, I know that's funny, I know that's entertainment, but you got to move differently, because if everybody is doing the same thing, I always heard that in business, when everybody is pushing as a herd to go somewhere, to go get something, you better be going the opposite direction, because it's already over with. So,
then another thing I want to add on top of that Ninth Wonder, that comment on that particular meme. The funny thing is I'm pretty sure that most people here either reblogged it, retweeted it, or at least laughed at it. Yeah. And when I saw it, I was like, man, what people don't understand is that, let's say an artist does, put out a song to a beat that's tagged, and it gets traction, and then he comes back and he buys the beat. But when he comes back to your Instagram, he sees this post, and he's like, fuck this guy, I'm gonna go get this guy to remake it, because I get people every single week that come to me personally to redo a beat, to like not remake it bar for bar, but like just to do my own rendition of the beat. So you don't know if you're losing business because you're disrespecting these artists, And I made a post a long time ago, 2012, where I was like, you know what? That's something I got to stop doing. Like, I'm not going to disrespect my demographic. I mean, I did the "Why You Ain't Pay for This Beat Though"
I
video. That
mean,
was
but
funny.
who you get that from? Who you
I
get
got
the
that from
tag from?
you,
You got the tag from me. So we all
right?
are guilty. We're not coming down on producers. We're not coming down on you saying like, oh, you guys. We look. I made Roscoe the Taco. Roscoe the
Yeah.
damn Taco was created by me making fun of the very same demographic. But at some point in time, I mean, of course, I'm just echoing what Epik is saying is that
Mhm.
you start asking yourself, is that moment of time that we're able to share laughter amongst producers worth me getting less beat sales? Is that worth
Right.
me missing out on the bottom line when it's my job and my responsibility as a business to serve this demographic?
Right. And then also that post that I made for that video was an ad for people to sign up for my monthly subscription, so they didn't have to get tagged beats.
Right,
So
right,
they would pay a certain amount every single month to get access to pretty much an unlimited download of beats, so that they didn't have to use tag beats. So
right.
it was an actual play to bring in money and to actually help artists. So you have
Right.
to use, if you're going to use the entertainment value, don't just post memes just to post memes. It has to have an end. It has to be a means to an end, or else you're just posting just to somebody else's content that
Yeah.
really doesn't matter.
And somebody made a point where I'm sorry, not gonna make it somebody. Beast and Banger said, but the artists disrespect us by disrespect us by not respecting our prices. Although you have situations in which there are people who don't respect your prices, respect the business, you're gonna find that in all walks of life. That's not just rappers. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm.
It's not just rappers. There's people right now who are laughing at the fact that us in hip hop are having conversations about different marketing, and they laugh at it because to them it's hysterical. You can't worry about that. You have to be responsible for you and the reputation of your own business. Going tit for tat is vibrating on a lower frequency entirely. And if you plan
Mm-hmm.
on being ultra successful, you're gonna have to float amongst all of this chitter chatter, all of this stuff that's like, but you did this to me. You did it until you take responsibility at some point, and it's not your fault that they're acting the way they act. But guess what? It's your responsibility to do something different about it. So,
Producers are disrespectful with pricing as well, because when I did the mentor program last time, I got some disrespectful things said. So, you know, we can't disregard ourselves as well. You know, we're a huge market, and in every market it's that way, man.
yeah,
It just is what it is. In business, you're gonna have, like, in business, when you put something out there, you're gonna have somebody that pushes back and, disrespects your brand. And, it's up to you to make sure that you represent yourself properly, and that you understand that those people don't represent 100%,
right.
for sure.
Because at the end of the day, too, to add on that, at the end of the day, when people are looking to buy from you, they won't understand the context of why you're going tit for tat, and they're coming only to you. They're not gonna see the other side. They're gonna see you. What's that
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z line? Jay-Z said somebody told him not to argue with fools because from a distance nobody can tell who was who.
Mm-hmm. That's a
That
bar.
that certainly applies here. So I think that's something else too, is that the mudslinging topics that we're talking about is so below what this business could be. But the only way it's going to elevate is if individuals like Epik and I have an opportunity to sit with you and
Mm-hmm.
and show you, look, this is what the bigger picture is. If we just say it out loud right now, there's so many different frequencies that just don't understand until you get in tune with, look at what's happening right now. Now look at this other industry and see what happened here. Here's how we have similarities. This is what it can be, but it has to start with individuals. It has to start with a different mindset. It has to start with a different level of understanding of what you're actually getting into.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that you wanted to kind of dig a little deeper into with this, or did you want to kind of send them? I need to see about this email that I have available for them to.
Yeah, you can. Well, should I kind of talk about how a little bit on kind of like the back end a little bit, because
Yeah.
we got 205 people in here,
Okay.
and give them a little bit of insight into one piece that I feel like kind of I got whenever I was doing the producer mentor program before. There's like this one piece that I didn't have a remedy to, so that they couldn't say it anymore. And every time I would do the program, I would get somebody that would say like, well, you're Epic, you know, you have a following, and it's easy for you to make money. You've already done it, and you've been doing this for this long. And so a part of what we're going to do moving forward is basically creating a brand new producer, like from scratch. Me and Curtis are going to create a brand new producer. And for the first 20 people that we pick to be a part of this, you get to see us create this producer from $0 to an amount that you can live off of within a 3-month span.
I didn't know you were going to give that information, but I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that you did that.
we got 200 people in here. You know, it's not too much. It's not too little. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
But I think that is vital because most producers don't believe that they can do it. And this will be a way for us to show them exactly like, okay, here you go. Let me stop that. Because anybody at the end of that doesn't do it, you're just not meant to do this shit, bro. You need to go to Walmart, you need to go to Costco, or stay right where the fuck you at your job or wherever you're at and not do this shit. And you know, I feel like this is the way to change that mind state. This is the way to do it.
Had I had access, and right now I'm actually resetting up this email because we had a little error with it, but if I had access to this going in, I would be set up so much. Like, I don't think you understand. Like, I've known Epik for some time, but we have not had extended conversations in the entire Lord. I went and saw you at that conference in 2010. We have not had extended conversations until 2018. So even from a distance, there's things that you can learn, but within the last week and a half, 2 weeks, I'm sitting up here absorbing a lot of information, and I think you guys are going to see the impact of me being even in contact with somebody like an Epik. And you guys already know the value that you're getting from me. You guys know it's been on a daily basis. We're getting ready to go on another streak right now and put up videos every day, but this is something I wish that I had access to, that it was ongoing. Because, you know, shout out Awesome. He was the one that really, you know, I reached out to him in a very desperate time, and he showed me step by step what this was. But I have to take into consideration, you guys can only get so much from my videos. You can only get so much from a 30-minute, 20-minute, 10-minute video. But what you can get here is not only can you get my perspective on it, you can get varying perspectives on it that literally say the same thing. But it's good that you get different approaches. That's why I think this is the best. I anticipate the best business collaboration that I've ever done, because we have such varying personalities, but the moral code is in the same place. The goals are in the same place. And for the producers that are here, the goal is to get you out here and literally making a living. You want to talk about what we have to gain from that? That's legacy. That's a legacy. To be able to say that you had the opportunity to literally shift someone's life. I heard Impressive Beats came in here about an hour ago, and he said, yo, this program changed my life. And I had no idea, because I was on the outside looking in, but now that I'm involved in it and I see the back end, I see why. Being able to see a producer from scratch, you have no excuses. Now you got to just now you really can blame your beats. At that point, you got to really, you know, hone in and see this for what it is. It's a grand opportunity.
Hey, so we got I can't pronounce his name. Ibu Bakir something. He said, how are you guys going to make a discouraging video saying the beat selling thing is dying, but then ask for people's money to create? So we talked about this yesterday, right?
Right, of course.
Remember? So
we were looking forward to you.
Yeah, we were looking forward to that question. I'm glad that you asked that question. So what we said, if you listen to the whole thing, isn't that beat selling is literally dead. We said that the format in the current state is going to die, right? I said by 2020, that's a year and a half from now,
Right.
this format is going to be dead, right? So I still sell beats. Curtis still sells beats. Cash Money AP still sells beats. People are still selling beats. It's not dead. But what it is that you are going to have to offer more. And what we're going to be teaching you is how to offer more than just your beats.
Right.
You're not, we're not just going to teach you how just to sell beats. We're going to teach you how to market. This can be applied to affiliate marketing. This can be applied to drop shipping. This can be applied to any product. So selling beats is no different than selling teddy bears or anything else. It's just a product that you create. The difference between our product and another product is that we don't have to manufacture the same thing over and over and over and over again. So what we're doing is teaching you how to market not only yourself, but any type of product that you create. This is beats. This is courses. This is anything that you want to do for artists, how to create content,
Right.
where to put the content, where to put the ad dollars behind the content. These are all things that you don't know. So we never disrespected the. I don't remember disrespecting the.
We didn't.
Business,
You can
but
tell. You can tell that somebody that you can tell when somebody is shook by clickbaitish titles.
yeah,
If you stop there, that's how I know you didn't watch the entire video. I'm not sure exactly who said it, but that's how I know you didn't watch the entire video, because if you look at the comments, people got a general understanding of what exactly we were getting at. And at the end of the
right.
day, he said it in a podcast, and he said it in prior videos, that if you are conducting business like this is 2010, you are going to be a part of the next shift in which a large number of producers are going to die off. Why? Because they are dinosaurs and they refuse to evolve. So as long as you think that you can just put together for those of you already right now who are struggling and saying, man, I made my Airbit profile and I should be getting sales. If that's the only thing that you focused on, you are really going to have issues. My thing is prepare yourselves for whatever transition by understanding all the things that go behind every single shift. And this is part of it, is getting the mentorship so you understand these shifts. So we appreciate the pushback. And we're not afraid to answer those questions.
So Bystander said, I see a lot of quality questions. Can we address that? I don't know exactly which questions they're speaking on.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'm trying to see what time period in which they asked that. But if somebody said, how do you qualify for the mentorship?
So right now we're gonna just take in we're just gonna take in some of the entries, like some people just inquiring about it. And then I feel like a problem last time was that, well, a way that I kind of picked last time is I had conversations with people, and I want to have I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste Curtis' time, and I don't want to waste your guys' time. Like, we don't want to waste anybody's time. And we want to make sure that the people that get into this are really 100% about it, because this is just the first 20 is just a precursor to what we're really trying to do. So we want to make sure that we get the best people in that can get the best information. So we'll be contacting you personally. So whenever you sign, when you are creating a sign up, Curtis.
You already got that. I already got the email, so that's ready to go.
All right, cool. So yeah, whenever you guys send the email through, we'll be in contact with you, and then we'll go from there. So it's no like competition or anything like that. It's we're gonna talk to you personally and make sure that we feel like it's not a waste of any of our time.
Right. And let me go ahead and preface this too, because I know a lot of you guys are probably like, Curtis, man, I was a part of your Curtis King community, and you neglected us. You left us in there. And you know what? I've already apologized 1,000,001 times. Things got busy and I had a baby. This time around, I am surrounded by somebody that is just as strict about their discipline as I am at my best. So understand that it's more than one person that you are actually interacting with within this program. I'm just excited that this is available. I know that no matter what you say and what you do, there's going to be people who fight back against it. This is not for you. If you got to constantly fight back, you got a lot of other things going on, I'm sure, that you need to address first. Because when you fight back, usually that anxiety comes from fear. So the people that are prepared for this are the people who I feel like, at least in my opinion, we can discuss this more too, but people who are like, you know what, I'm right there. I'm right there. I believe I have quality music. I just need a better understanding of what the hell I'm in because there's so much going on around me.
Everybody's like, okay, we get it. Where the fuck do we sign up at?
Okay, that's the example of when Curtis talked too damn much. All right, I got it. I got it. This is the yin and the yang. This is Epik and Curtis, man. But so the email, very easy email to go ahead and do. Let me go ahead and type this in. Actually, is musicproducerunion@gmail.com.
Dope.
Music Producer Union. So yeah, let me go ahead and type that in to the chat. Music Producer Union. producerunion@gmail.com. Pearl Manhattan said, "Kiss that baby always." Young Nas, no Young Nas here. He not making an appearance today because he got his shots today, and yeah, he's not happy. He was hot.
I don't got a baby. I got a damn near grown ass man now.
who just recently had a 13th birthday, man. So
right,
man. So yeah, so that's the email. What do you want them to send? Because I know they're probably gonna go ham right now. But what do you want them to send?
Yeah, pull up on the screen too. Like you can type it in like a maybe in like a word pad or something.
Oh, for the email. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
That'd be a good look too.
Let me do that.
Can we still be considered if we're just getting started? Yeah. If you're just getting started, it's just about attitude, man. What I noticed in the last two programs I did. So in the last two programs I did, I had over 400 producers that signed up, and they were very. A lot of them were reluctant, and a lot of them were scared. A lot of them, I didn't vet them enough, and I didn't, because and I wasted a lot of my time, and I wasted some of their time. And the people, there was a very few amount. Out of the first 200 people, I would say 2 of them took the information and went like all the way with it. Like they took the information and they did every single thing that I told them to do. Like I'll give you one example, and I bet you that 90% of you, not 90, I'll be saying 90% too much.
You love that number.
It's just because, 2 out of 20, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's, 2 out of 200, that's I have actual numbers for that. But, okay, this is what I told them the beginning of the producer mentor program. And this is the same thing I'm probably going to tell you guys, but I'll let this out right now. So if you want to get started right now, and this is artists too. If you're an artist, I saw artists in here saying like, "What about artists? What are you guys doing anything for artists?" This will fit for you too. So, if you already have some type of following, and people replying to your music, if you can get, or if you know how to get in contact with artists, like let's say artists follow you, artists follow me, you can go through my following on Instagram, find out all the artists, DM every single one, talk to 10 of them on the phone every single day for 3 months straight, right? 90 days. 10 people a day for 90 days on the phone, not in the DM. You DM them, you hit them up, you get their number, you talk to them on the phone. 10 of them a day for 90 days. And by the end of that, you'll have 1,000, you have 1,000 artists that now know who you are, and your first 1,000 base to make money off of, because you have a personal relationship with them. Now, out of the 200 artists that I told to do that, or producers that I told to do that, only 4 of them did it, maybe.
Right.
And only 2 of them did it all the way through. And the 2 that did it all the way through, one was impressive, and the other one, his name was Rhapsodist Beats. And they both started to live off of their music by the end of the program. And that was 3 months. So all I'm saying is this is for the people that are willing to put everything into it.
Right.
I know Curtis, when he got started, he put everything into it.
Absolutely.
And when I do something and I started, I'm like, all right, cool. I'm putting everything. I'll go to the end of the earth to make sure that this works, because I believe that this is. If you don't believe in yourself and you don't believe in what you're trying to do that much, then doing anything in business for yourself is not for you.
Right.
It means that you have to work for the person that feels that way.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: is there anything specific that they should be including within that email? Do we ever already go over that? Because this is just really
No,
to
just
collect.
this is
To
just your
collect
interest.
emails, right?
Just shoot. I say shoot the numbers. Shoot your phone number. Shoot your producer name, your phone number, and just yeah, that's it.
Okay. And if you already sent it, just feel free to send it again within your same thread, and then we'll just grab that. I'll grab that information sitting in the email. You guys are definitely going crazy right now with this email. It pushed my phone off of the speaker. Thank you. Whoever did that right now, thank you. Somebody asks, are you teaching technique and skill in music production, or only the marketing and business aspect?
Only the marketing and business aspect for this.
Absolutely.
If I feel like we both have consultations that are coming back out,
Yeah.
and for beat selling and beat making, I feel like that would suffice for that.
I'm sorry. The Raven asks, will you still do consultations, Curtis? I think that I will open it back up, but it's going to be a lot of changes to it. It's going to be a lot more value being put in it, but it's going to be a lot of things that were available before that are not going to be. Like the 30-minute consultations those were almost like they weren't purposeful, because I shouldn't say purposeful. They weren't as effective as the 1 hour, because people always said, I wish I had more time. So I feel like if you are in a position where you say, I need to get consultation, I need to separate from the folks that were like, I kind of want to talk to Curtis for a few minutes. That's not what this is. This is for those who are very serious about their career and will literally do anything to ensure their next level of success. So I'm rebranding that. You can thank Epik for that. I'm gonna just throw him under the bus. I'm just playing. You can thank Epik for that, but he definitely, me having conversations with him alone has already impacted a lot. So that's part of it. But as the program goes on, I'm probably going to shut down my consultations until we get this. I want to give these producers my full attention. Go ahead, Epik.
So Silencio produced it as rappers took that well, as far as like the phone calls. Anybody that you get on the phone, because you're not like cold calling people. So if you have a conversation with them in the DM and it's genuine, not like, hey, check out my website, but like, yo, you can go and listen to the music, maybe pick people that you like and talk to them about their music. They're going to want to have a conversation with you. They're going to want to talk to you. Like they'll be more surprised that you're a real human being than not. They'll take it better. And then when it finally comes to buying something, there'll be leverage there. And leverage is more valuable than money, period.
Right. Well, and this is probably something you just answered right now, but somebody wants to say, why would any rapper want to take a phone call with a producer, since they're always, I guess if they don't know them, why would they want to take a phone call? In your, we've already had the discussion, but I know that I want to base this more so not on speculation, but what you already experienced. Is that part of the program, is teaching them the approach to how they address these actual rappers and whatnot?
I mean, I can give them some general ideas, but having those phone calls, you're developing multiple skills when you're doing these phone calls. In the beginning, you're probably going to be a potato. Like you're not going to really unless you're really good at talking to people. Most producers aren't. I get on the phone with producers all the time, and they're really shy and they're timid and stuff like that. What this is going to do if you talk to 1,000 people on the phone of your market, is going to give you confidence by the end in talking to them. And you have to be you got to push for that. You're going to have to get out of your comfort zone and have these conversations that you haven't probably had before.
Right.
And I think the problem is that with a lot of producers and artists is that they don't understand their market.
Right.
Period. They don't and this is the way you get to understand and know your market like your child. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And that's something that you have to do in order to be able to sell to them. Like, how are you going to create an ad? How are you going to create music? How are you going to create anything if you don't know what the market wants?
I remember one of my marketing mentors made me do an exercise where he made me randomly look up a picture of what I thought my target demographic looked like, and he made me give him a name. He said, "Give this guy a name. What city does he live in? You know, what kind of things does he does when he's not rapping?" And I had to profile this person and then generate an ad based upon that visual. That changed so much, which I'm sure that we have more conversations on.
Yep. Somebody said talking to 10 people a day for 3 months sounds like the scariest shit. B, I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, thank you. Shout out to you for being real about it.
I was
Instead of
honest,
fighting
bro.
it, that's super honest. Because I'll tell you, even when Epic presented this to me the first time, I was like, you remember Epic? I gave you a little bit of fight back. I was like, damn, 10 rappers are like 10?
I
Come
still
on.
do it.
Yeah, you still doing it. You in the process of doing this now. Yeah.
Yeah. I talk to 10 artists every single day, and I'm gonna do it for a year. So
And you wonder why he's so tuned in. He's not
yeah,
tuned in because of what he thinks may be the result. He's hearing it every single day, the same things being echoed. He came to me with a number of what the average cost was for a rapper to go from buying beats all the way up until studio time, all the way up until releasing and promoting a project. And the number is very steep for a lot of these rappers. It's not a cheap number. So if that rapper had more idea about how to approach things. I know somebody earlier was like, I've been promoting on YouTube. I've been using YouTube promotion and I haven't gotten anywhere. I'll tell you right now, to this day, I've only promoted on YouTube 3 times my entire 8 years on YouTube. And that's not an area of focus for me. And that's the thing about it, is that what you're going to learn in this program is to see it from multiple perspectives and to see how to properly approach these networks. You don't just go in there throwing all your money and hoping that things are going to go. This is not the Wheel of Fortune.
Beast and Banger seems like he has a bad like experience with artists and selling beats. And I feel like when you have a bad energy and a preconceived notion,
Right.
walking into something, the end result is always the same. Ronald asked you a question. He said, quick question, Curtis. Could it be worth it to work with a local artist and establish a local following, or try to aim for the industry cats?
I think that's where you want to start to begin with. That's how I ended up getting my placement with Kendrick Lamar. That placement with Kendrick Lamar doesn't happen. The beat that I produced for Schoolboy Q, that basically got him signed to TDE, doesn't happen if I don't open up my house and invite a young rapper named Ab Soul in. Right, I opened up. He was a local artist at the time. He was making a pretty good buzz, but still, he was in Carson. Carson is not really known for breeding a consistent amount of artists. At least not at that time. We were known for Razzcats, for Bishop Lamont, for Booyah Tribe, but not necessarily like huge artists. So locally, he was local of a local, but this dude was so talented, and I saw a young Jay-Z in him. And he came over to the crib. He was one of the first artists that I said, you know what? I don't even feel guilty or even worried that I got bills. I want to give you free beats because I need my name attached to your talent. I need the experience of working with you. And him coming into the crib, it got to the point where I called him. I said, look, Thursdays are for you. Come over here, man, and pause if I need to. But Thursdays are for you. Come record. I got free beats for you. And I was making beats that I felt like, if I had an opportunity to produce for Jay-Z, these were the beats that I was going to give him at that time. And I ended up giving it to him. And what he did with it was so crazy that it developed me as a producer. My learning curve increased because I was with somebody that made me step my shit up. I had to step up my engineering. I had to step, because I was engineering him too. Engineering his vocals. I had to step up my beats. But when I worked with him locally, wherever his career went, my name went along with that. So the first time he got signed, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's like Roosevelt. Like Roosevelt is the first artist that my beats were trash, bro. Like they were terrible. But
so was mine.
Working with him turned me into a producer, not just a beat maker.
Yeah.
And I was able to really learn what an artist wants and how to work with him personally. I mean, I was working in the studio already, but this is somebody I was working with daily. Like every single day we was working on music, and it allowed me to develop the understanding when going into selling beats online or going into the music industry.
Right.
When I would go into sessions, I now had an idea of how to format. I now had an idea of what to expect from the artist and how to make sure that they got what they wanted and to make the vision go to produce the vision.
Right.
And that's important. You can't get that from selling beats online. You have to work with an artist personally to do that. And if you're just starting out, working with the artist is the best thing that you could do. As far as getting into the music industry, you have to figure out if that's your flavor. Like, you know, me and Curtis have had our run-ins with the music industry, and that made our eyebrows raise, and like, you know, like this is not for me, you know, and it's not for everybody. You got to be a certain type of person to deal with it, you know, and to deal with the politics. It's like imagine working with Donald Trump. Like you have to, and then working with Obama, you have to deal with all these different personalities and different types of politics and all this other BS that you don't have to worry about when selling beats online. You're selling beats online, you're working with artists, everything is based off of you personally. You're building your own following. And at the same time, the reason why selling beats online was good for me is because when I ran into situations where I was offered $250,000 for a terrible deal, I was already making $100,000 a year, so I didn't need to take the deal.
Right.
I could think clearly through the situation. I could hire a lawyer.
Yeah.
I could do everything I needed to do, so that I didn't take a dumbass situation that would have left me in the hole in the long run.
And I'm about to say, let me expand upon that, because what you brought up right there, I think, is the biggest mental block for a lot of producers, in that they have 1 foot in independence and they have 1 foot in wanting to be in the industry, wanting to be famous. And the moment that shifted for me was when I sat up in this industry and I said, this is not for me. I felt like I was following the coattails of a lot of people. Like I had to wait for somebody else to invite me to a studio. I had to wait for somebody else to get their album and their songs approved before my placement can even come out. I was waiting a year. I was accumulating debt over a year, waiting for these placements to drop. And I was going studio to studio, and I'm not being compensated for that. And it just did not make any sense for me. Now, if other people look at that and say, that's getting your foot wet, you're paying dues, you must have seen something. You must have seen the same thing I seen too. But that's the thing about it is
Listen, Sensei Hack.
Oh,
shut up.
That's the thing about it is that you have to really see personality wise, is this the business for you? It's funny because if this was a job question, you would make an easy decision. This job's not for me. I want to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? I love plumbing, but I don't want to work for this company because they treat me like shit. But in this business, we have 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and we end up making very watered down decisions moving forward, and we never get where we actually want to get. It's almost like throwing a bicycle on the side and trying to ride it fast as you can. It's not going anywhere. So I think that
part of this. I want to ask this one guy's question. I want to answer this guy's question real quick because he asked it like 70,000 times.
Sure.
And I want to make sure that he said, is it difficult to sell to rappers overseas with the language barrier?
All right. You know, we're dealing with technology. You never know what's going to happen next. So